The candidates for the Lewisham East by-election have been announced, and it's not a simple race. There's 14 candidates. Seriously, 14 candidates have been announced for the Lewisham East by-election to replace Heidi Alexander. And pretty much every party you can think of is standing. There were rumours. I heard rumours that Lord Buckethead was going to stand. If you've never heard of him, he's a candidate who stands on stage as a candidate wearing a black cape with a bucket on his head. He's a legend. Unfortunately, it turns out he's not standing, but I thought I would go through today the full list, the full 14 candidates, and see what we're dealing with here. Just for a bit of perspective, obviously Labour's going to win. Within the next couple of days, the postal votes go out, which means in the next couple of days, the Labour Party will win the Lewisham East by-election that's going to be held on the 14th of June next month. Labour's going to win. But let's take a look at the candidates. So starting off for the Green Party, we've got Rosamund Adu Kiss Deborah. She is a clean air campaigner at the head of a sixth form, appears to be a new candidate. I've looked in the sort of past elections in Lewisham East, can't see her previously, but last time round the Greens got 803 votes, 1.7% of the vote. I can't really see much of a surge here. The Labour Party has such a massive majority, which means most of the people from the left go to Labour. I don't see any reason why people are going to be turning to a clean air campaigner anytime soon. The second, the most likely second result is going to be the Tories, and Ross Archer is the candidate for the Tory party. Now, the first time I saw Ross online was when I saw pictures of his terrible, terrible election literature on Twitter. So, I mean, look at this. Knocking on doors in Lee for Ross Archer. Look at this picture. What is that font? I called to see you today and hear your views. Ross Archer. It looks like an advert for a crap, like, cartoon or something. Like, what is that? And also, it's clearly just been photocopied. I mean, you'd expect a bit better from the Conservative Party. I mean, really, you call that election material, my God. It's comical, but to be honest, the Tories don't even need to go out and do anything because they're going to come second, almost certainly. I mean, this is a constituency that voted about 40% Brexit. So that vote's going to go somewhere. It's probably not going to go to the Labour Party. I very much doubt it's going to go back to UKIP. So the Tories have got second in the bag here. Also, as well, by the way, with literature, there's one thing that really bugs me as a writer, and it's when election literature is written in the present tense. I don't know if this is just me, but so, for instance, here, selected on Thursday, out campaigning for him on a sunny Saturday, and there's a picture here, and it's got Ross Archer, and then it says, listening to Lewisham. Listening to Lewisham. Does it not just come across as really unnatural and patronising and ugh? It's just politician talk. It's the equivalent of when a politician walks into a room, into a new venue that's been opened in their constituency, and they walk in with their hands like this going. Why do politicians immediately turn into robots the minute that they're elected? And why is their election literature always so naff? It's crap. Come on, excite us with something. Jesus. There's also an independent candidate called Charles Carey. Now, there's not even a single mention on Twitter of Charles Carey. There doesn't seem to be any visible campaign. Now, what I would say is never underestimate a good independent. Independents have caught me out before. If you get someone who's well known and popular locally, they can do pretty well. But I've done a lot of Googling and I cannot see anything about this Charles Carey. So who knows? Could be a good candidate, could be a crackpot. Then there's the Labour candidate, the candidate that will soon be crowned the next MP for Lewisham East, and it's Janet Dabby. Sorry, I might be being culturally insensitive there. Is it Janet Dabby? She won the all-woman, all-BAME shortlist. Sakina Sheikh and Claudia Webb lost, but Dabby is no moderate. In February, she was seen taking part in a panel discussion with Shaquille Begg, which was reported on by Guido Fawkes. Shakil Beg's an imam from Lewisham Islamic Centre, which has connections to the Lee Rigby killers, and Beg also lost a libel action case to the BBC when the BBC said that he'd encouraged religious violence, because it turned out he had. So this Dabby woman's pretty concerning. I mean, what do you expect from Labour, though? She wants to stay in the single market as well, so the 60% that voted the 60% that voted Remain, I mean, of course they're going to go Labour. She's your candidate. She's going to win. Democrats and veterans are standing somebody, Massimo Di Mambro, who lives in Lewisham. I'm not convinced by the Democrats and veterans. I'm really not. I don't think they've got an inspiring leader. The name's a bit crap. Democrats, people don't immediately associate with that. Veterans gives it the impression that it's a one-issue party. It's not really an inspiring name. And the candidate's campaign has raised 370 quid as of the filming of this video. So I don't think we're going to be impressed here. The Libertarian Party is standing. The Libertarian Party calls themselves a classically liberal minarchist party. It was founded in 2008. They've not done much in the last 10 years. I've looked at all the elections they covered. In 7 seats they've stood for, they've never got more than 0.4%. So, and I don't want to sound mean, but their official YouTube's interview with their candidate is about 100 views in 5 days. So again, not really much competition here. There's also the Radical Party. Has anyone heard of the Radical Party before? I had a Google, and it says the party was born out of discussions after the May 25th election involving people from different political backgrounds. Is threatened by leaders who failed to speak up clearly against short-sighted and self-destructive nationalism. Ugh. I don't know, some left-wing party. It's pointless being a left-wing party in Lewisham. They're going to vote Labour, so Radical Party probably not going to do very well. Young People's Party, Thomas Hall. The Young People's Party, you'd think it'd be this party that campaigns specifically about, I don't know, university and stuff like that, but you look on their website and their main policy is collecting taxes based on the value of land rather than earnings. What? I don't know. Who's going to vote for that? And they've never achieved more than 0.2% of the vote in any of the constituencies they stood in, so again, no real competition. Then we've got the Monster Raving Loony Party. So we don't have Lord Buckethead, but we do have the Loonies. If you don't know what the Monster Raving Loony Party are, they're basically joke candidates. It's a joke party. I mean, it's a legitimate political party, but they're a joke. They've got policies like, besides leap years, there needs to be hop, skip and jump years. I vaguely remember a paint it purple policy from years ago, which was to paint every 7 houses purple because they think it will lift the national mood and make people happier. Another great policy they've got is we will reduce the national debt by selling the castles back to the French. Buyer dismantles. Amazing. If I can manage to get to the count for this, then hopefully I will meet Howling Lord Hope. Yes. UKIP standing. David Curtin, who's the GLA member for UKIP. He's not previously been a candidate in Lewisham East, so that probably will work against him. Interestingly, Anne-Marie Waters was the UKIP candidate in 2015 and came 3rd, but in 2017 UKIP came 5th with 1.7% of the vote. So UKIP's got an uphill battle here, especially with the recent troubles. UKIP's kind of collapsing. Christian People's Alliance, Maureen Martin, a regular candidate for Lewisham East. She stands there a lot. Maureen stood in 2017. She came last with 0.5% of the vote, and that vote share went down from 2015 by 0.2%. There's a big black African Christian presence in the constituency that she may well appeal to, but no real contender there. Women's Equality Party is standing. Interestingly, I don't know if it's still the case, but this was at least connected to Sandy Toksvig from QI, which upsets me because I like Sandy Toksvig. Oh well. I mean, it's just a mad feminist party. I mean, Women's Equality Party, what rights exactly are they fighting for? This woman, Mandu Reid, who's from Lewisham, which is instantly a good thing as a candidate, but she's the founder of the Cup Effect, which is a women's menstrual health non-governmental organisation. Would you vote for her? I wouldn't. Liberal Democrats have got Lucy Salek, who's the director of a humanitarian startup and a refugee charity. Go figure. It's a Remain constituency, so the Liberal Democrats could technically do well, but as I say, most left-wing Remain voters are going to go for Janet Dabby because, well, she's almost certainly the winner, and she's pro-Remain, and she wants to keep us in the single market. So I actually think it's possible here that the Liberal Democrats will go down. I think I'll say that. I think I'll say the Liberal Democrats vote share, percentage-wise, I think will go down. And then finally, the For Britain movement. For Britain, Anne-Marie Waters. She was the candidate, as I say, in 2015, came third with 3,886 votes and 9.1% of the vote, which is pretty amazing for London. It's pretty amazing for a Remain constituency. This was pre-referendum. Now, if people remember Anne-Marie, then she could do well. She got quite a wide sort of spectrum of voters going for her. Whether that was because she was a good candidate or UKIP, who knows. Lib Dems got 2,455 votes in 2015, and then that was reduced to 2,086 in 2017. So if Anne-Marie can inspire those voters that supported her in 2015 to come back and support her again, which I mean is not out the realm of possibility. People left UKIP, they're obviously willing to look somewhere else, they may well look for her. Then actually Anne-Marie could come third and beat the Lib Dems. So I've come up with a list of my predictions for the Lewisham East by-election, and you might think I'm a bit mad, but I'm willing to go out on a limb here and say that I think obviously Labour will win, obviously the Conservatives will come second, but then I think third, I think Anne-Marie might do it. I think For Britain might well come third. She's done it before in 2015. She could do it again. It just depends how well she mobilises her campaigners and how much time she's able to spend in the constituency. And if she can bring back the voters from 2015, I think she could do it. The Liberal Democrats, I think, will come fourth. Obviously, most of the left-wing Remain vote's going to go to Labour. UKIP, maybe fifth, maybe even sixth. But I'll say for argument here, UKIP fifth, Greens sixth. Then I think it'll be the Women's Equality Party, then the Christians, then Democrats and Veterans, Young People, Independent. The Independent could be anywhere, but I'm just throwing him in there because I really don't know if he's a good candidate or not. Libertarian, Monster Raving Loony Party, and then I think the Radical Party will come last because I don't see any real... I don't know, I just don't see a campaign there. I don't see anyone willing to support a small left-wing party. I think they'll probably come last. So there we are. It's not long now. It's literally just a few weeks until the by-election. This could be really interesting. But I think the battle here is between UKIP and For Britain. For Britain's got a big task on its hands here to beat UKIP. And if they mobilise well, they could do it. They could do it. I said the other day on Twitter that I think UKIP's in a death spiral now. And I don't say that to be mean. I don't say that to offend any of my UKIP voting or supporting viewers. I saw the death spiral of the BNP. I'm seeing a death spiral of UKIP. And it's got nothing to do with the content of the policies that this death spiral happened. It's as the minute a party is seen as dead to the voters, they'll never return to it because they don't believe that the party could do well. And I think UKIP's in that death spiral now. So, yeah, interesting by-election. UKIP's got a lot to make up for. I don't think they'll be able to do it. But one thing is for sure, and that's Janet Dabby is the next MP for Lewisham East. If you want to see more from me and the rest of the Rebel team, remember to download our app on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and like and subscribe.